Okay, so I always say here that learning is a continuous process and learning does not end. You continue learning till you die. And there is a saying in Swahili that says, asiyefunzwa na mamaye funzwa na ulimwengu. I can loosely translate it as, he who has refused to be taught by his mom will be taught by the world. I'm not sure if it's correct, but I hope you can get the loose meaning of it. So, I've learned that life, learning is a continuous process and learning does not end. So, earlier on, I'm someone who didn't believe on something called guidance and counseling. Actually, even in my school days, I think there's not even one time that I ever accepted to be guided and counseled. So, these things that you hear when you are young and you grow up, when you are growing up, you'll hear so many things, and you will see them as nonsense. But as you grow older, you will come to realize that you are actually a fool. All these things make sense. Because there's a way in which if you become too much of a hardliner, you lose step. Like, I'm somebody who didn't believe in guidance and counseling. Actually, I had my points against it, and I had my supporting documents, and I had thoughts that guidance and counseling was something that was actually not necessary and not even worth anything. But what is life? Life will teach you, life will prove to you that which you refused, it is what it is. The way you got it, the way you were born here, you fought it that way, and you refused it, somewhere along the line, life will show you that that's what it is. So that is why, when I tell you that I will always be humble in this life, always be humble in this life, because you can take very hard stance against something, but somewhere along the line, life will prove to you that that same thing you used to refuse, that was it. So that is why I always tell my friends, just go slow. Just go slow on everything. Don't be a hardliner. Yeah, and just be open to receive what we call any knowledge or any information from anyone. It might not be important now, but you will find it useful somewhere along the line. So I'm somebody who didn't believe actually in what you call guidance and counseling. I think I can remember at some point I had a girlfriend, my last girlfriend, the last girlfriend I had, and since we parted ways, I have not got any till today. So when I had that my girlfriend, I remember at what time I used to tell her that if any issue can arise between me and you, it is for me and you to solve that issue, not any other person. Not your parents, not my parents, not your brothers, not my brothers, not any other person, not our neighbors. It's me and you to solve that issue. If we cannot solve it, then let's call it quits. So I was just giving you that piece to understand how I used to take hard stance before I realized that in this life you have to take it easy. So I was very rigid in that, because I used to see it like okay, my arguments, I told you before that I always like to base my arguments on facts. So that is what I am since I was young. So even at that time, I had facts supporting that. I was not just saying something. No, that one I have since I was young. When I choose to do something, I must have supporting documents of that. Or when I choose to believe on something, I must have supporting documents of that. So that is how I've been since I was young. So I used to tell my girlfriend that any involvement of any person that is not in this our life, me and you, will not be for the good of us, because that person, the third party, does not understand us and does not understand whatever we are going through. So whatever the problem that may come between us, is either we sit down, we solve it, the two of us. But if it cannot solve it, then they just cut it off. So I used to have that very hard stance. At some point in life, we had a baby with my girlfriend. So the baby passed on. So that same hard stance that I had, that was around 13 years ago, 2010. By that time, I still had this very strong stance on what I believe in. So actually, I didn't want anybody to come telling me anything. So somebody will come tell you, oh, don't worry, take it easy, God will give you another child. Why? I can remember I even asked somebody, why? Who told you I need another child? I don't need another child. This is the one I wanted. This is the one now he has been taken. Now don't come and tell me those things. Just leave me alone. I didn't like things that people coming to console you, to do what. I didn't believe in those things before. I didn't want anything like that, because I took them as, because you have a problem. This person coming is not actually coming to solve this problem directly. He's coming to talk to you. So I was like, what business does somebody coming to cheat me with talks and he leaves me with the same problem I had? That is nonsense. I can't waste my time on that. That was my hard stance before. Before now, life taught me that you don't take hard stance in life, just take it easy. So people who just came trying to tell me, I don't know, anybody who came near me trying to talk to me, because I was really in pain over the death of my child. So I cut everybody. I didn't want anybody coming to talk to me, because I didn't believe those talks are anything useful, because the child is dead. You want to bring him up. So why are you coming? You're coming to cheat me with words. See. So I didn't allow anybody to come and tell me anything. So somewhere along the line, I came to learn that what we call guidance, even in school, I told you, even in school I didn't accept anything called guidance and counseling. I didn't go for that, because I saw it as something that is coming to cheat you. Somebody coming to cheat you with words while the problem still remains. So that is what or that is how I used to take what they call guidance and counseling. So somewhere along the line, the world taught me that things should be taken easy in this life. And I now believe in that. So let me give you an instance. So after my child, I want to give you an example where talking solves. Okay, somewhere along the life, I came to realize that this life, you live it in your head. So that is why this talking comes in. This life, you live it in your head. And that one we will explain. I've talked about it before in some other videos before, but I think it needs a deeper explanation. I'm still looking for the right words. I told you I always have a problem of translating whatever is in my head into words so that I can send them through words into your ears. So I'm always looking for the right words. But then my vocabulary, my gallery for vocabulary, I think it's not sufficient. So as I said before, I want to go around gathering more vocabulary so that I can fill my gallery of vocabularies, so that next time, so that in future when I come here, when I want to transfer whatever is in my mind into your ears, I have every word for exactly the exact thing that I'm thinking. Not like now I sometimes think of something but I don't have the right word to say it. So I end up saying, using other words that do not exactly mean what I think of. But in future, I promise you, I'm going to expand I'm going to fill my gallery of vocabulary so that I have every word for everything I think of. Inshallah, God willing. Okay. Now, at one point, I had not paid my rent, so I was with my girlfriend in the house. I had not paid my rent for some time, so the landlord decided to lock my house. Though before he locked my house, he gave me a chance. I took my girlfriend. She went to another town to her sister. Then I remained alone. As a man, surviving alone is not very difficult. So I decided to take my girlfriend to stay with her sister in another town so that I could remain alone. So after she went, the door was locked. Then I went to town. Then I went to meet my friend, my very good friend. He died 3 years ago. May God put his soul in eternal. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. He was a very, very good friend, my childhood friend. So he was in town, but his family was in another town. So when I went to him, he was he lived in another town, but he just came for some business in my town where I was living. So he had his apartment where he rented. He was sleeping. He rented that place for like 1 month, where he came for some business. So he was staying there for around 1 month or so. So after sending my girlfriend to the bus stop to take a bus to her sister's place, I went to my friend's hotel room. So the moment I arrived there, I started explaining my problems to him. The way my house has been locked, the way I've sent my girlfriend to another town. And the way now things are very difficult on me and I'm really stressed out. He listened to me. Then when I finished, he told me, okay, now, my own wife, as we are talking now, that is him talking to me. As we are talking now, my own wife is in a shuttle coming to Nairobi. Why is she coming to Nairobi? Because I've stayed in Nairobi for 1 month. I came to do my business. I've stayed in Nairobi for 1 month. There was nothing at home. We had rent arrears for 3 months. My 2 children have been sent for school fees. I've been home for almost 1 month now. My house help has not been paid for 4 months. Now, as we are speaking, my wife is in a shuttle coming to Nairobi because she does not understand what I'm doing in Nairobi while everything is not going. The children are almost starting their exams, but children are at home, are not going to school. So you see, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to bring to you through this picture is that the moment this my friend gave me a picture of what was happening to him, then automatically I saw that there was no problem. I saw that I had no problem. Actually, the moment he just narrated this story for me, then I didn't have a problem anymore. Because now this is me, and I'm only alone and my girlfriend in the house. The house is locked. I've taken the girlfriend to the sister. I'm now here as a man. I can survive easily. Meanwhile, the daughter is locked. My daughter is locked. Caretaker is my very good friend. I can go there anytime and he can open for me and I can go in and sleep and wake up at any time and go because the landlord is not around, does not live around. So the caretaker is always there. When I go there in the evening, he can open the door for me because he's the one having the keys to the padlock that the landlord locked. So actually, that is when I saw that I didn't have any problem at all. Mine was not a problem at all. Why am I telling you this story? I want you to see the value of speaking and what speaking can do to save you or to solve your problems. I didn't believe in it before, but life taught me that speaking through talks, somebody should it's not necessary that somebody should take money and tell you that, how much do you want to pay rent? How much arrears do you have? 80,000. Okay. Take 100,000, go pay rent. That is what, before I believed like that. I believed that somebody who I could give a chance to talk to me, somebody who could solve the problem I have instantly. And that is by, like, in that case, like giving me cash to go and pay rent. But then what did I get? Just from the talk we had with my friend, who was also in trouble like me, made me have a feeling that I was not actually having any problem. Mine was not any problem because in my case there were no children involved. There was no there's so many things that were not. There was no house help. Meanwhile, the house was locked, but the caretaker was my good friend. So it's only daytime that I cannot be there, but in the evening, because the landlord cannot come in the evening, so the caretaker will be opening the door for me. I go in and sleep. In the morning at 7, I wake up and go my way. So I was actually not having a problem. But take it this way, if I didn't go to talk to that my friend about this problem, he didn't solve my problem, he didn't give me money, but my problem was solved. I didn't have any problem after talking to him. So that is what I told you in Swahili saying, that if you refuse to be taught by your mom, the world will teach you. So that is how the world taught me that talking solves problems. That is case number 1. A second example, after burying my child, I went for so many months grieving, literally crying since morning. I was literally crying every time I wake up in the morning. I cry up to almost midday, every day, for over 6 months. And I told you I locked everybody. I didn't want anybody to talk to me or tell me anything because I saw them as people, some who were coming to lie to me. What are you coming to tell me? The child is gone. You can't bring the child back. So what are you coming to tell me? So 6 months down the line, I was still grieving, crying every day from morning to evening over that child. 6 months after burial. So one day, the child was buried in a cemetery somewhere in the forests of some town, mountains of Machakos somewhere. So one day after this 6 months, one day I just decided to go. I just wanted to go there at the burial site and sit over that grave and spend overnight over that grave till the following morning. That's what I decided. So I left home. But then, as I was going, I went to take PSV. I went to the bus station to take a PSV. But then, before I took a PSV, there is a friend of mine who by that time, he was also the late now. He's also the late. He used to come to sleep in my house sometimes. So I remember, now if I go there, I'm going to sleep there. Maybe this friend of mine might come. If I go with the keys, he might come and it might be inconvenience. So what I should do, I should just go to somewhere. We have a place where we always sit with other friends. I should go there and drop the keys to the house for him, so that when I go, because I was going to spend overnight at the grave of my child. So I decided to go there and leave the keys to him. So when I went to that place, the person I wanted to give the keys was still so busy, so I sat down. Then to cut the long story short, there was an old man, a very old man. He had never sat there before. Okay, I used to see him, but I used just to see him. He was a Maasai man. I can't remember, it was a Sunday. So I used just to see him passing around. This day, I found him seated there. So when I sat there waiting for my friend to finish whatever he was doing so that I can give him the keys, this old man started talking to me. We had never talked before. We had never known each other before. I used just to see him passing around. So we just started talking, and then the mode of this man was talking, he was talking as if he knew me. As if he was talking about me. Something that just strange. Then fast forward, it ended up where I explained to him where I was going. Then he told me, I think you are the reason why I'm sitting here today, because I've never sat here before, but something just made me sit here today. I've never sat here, but something just kept me here. So I think the one I was waiting for. Because wherever you are going, that cemetery, that bush, there is no any living human being around that area. That is a forest. So you were telling me you are going to spend a night there. So that was your last day. You are not going to reach morning. So you are just going to your death. I decided to listen for once that day. So this man asked me, first of all, he told me, when I want to go to overseas, maybe to America, and I have a car, then I come to you. I tell you, Oyo, I'm going overseas, but I'll be there for some time. I don't know for how long. but I want to leave this car for you, my car for you, so you can have it. You can always use it, but take good care of it, maintain it very well. Just use it until the day I come back. When I come back, I'll take it from you. Can you agree? I say, yes, I can. That can be a very good to me. I say, okay, now after I'm leaving for you this car, then I go to America. I take 1 year in America. Then the day I come back from America, I ask you, Oyo, now give me my car back. Will you get angry? Or will you get mad at me? I said, no, why should I get mad about the car? It was yours, and I should actually be thankful because I've used it for like a year, so I should be grateful. So this old man told me that that child that you've been grieving for over 6 months, you are only a caretaker. That child belonged to God. Now God gave you this child. I'm giving you my property. Take care of it. I'll take it when I want it. I'll come back for it, but you can use it so take care of it. So he gave you that child to take care of it. Now he has come back to take his child. Now you want to kill yourself. You see the way things made sense to me. This is the first day this Guedes and Catholic thing made sense to me. A very old Maasai man, we had never talked before, this was telling me this. That is God's property that was given to you to take care of. Now he has come back to take his property. Now you want to kill yourself. So when I give you my car to take care of, when I come back from America, I want my car back, you will kill yourself because I want my car back. There's no sense in this. Then the old man went ahead to tell me that, you know Barack Obama? Barack Obama, the former US president. By that time, I think as we were talking, Barack Obama was the president of America by that time. If I'm not wrong, I think so. He told me that this Barack Obama president comes from Uasia County. That is your place. I told him, yes. Now, do you know the Obama the Great, the father of this Obama? If the father, this Obama that is now the president of America, as a child, nature has plans for you as a child. So as a child, nature knew that this Obama Jr., he was destined to be the president of America, the first black president of America. That was his destiny. As a young child, he didn't know that. So as a young child, something came in between and took over his dad. And his dad was dead. After his dad's death, then the inheritance also, I think the brothers to the dad took everything, so did not leave the white mom, anything to survive with. So the white mom and the child, Obama, were just suffering hand to mouth, something like that. I don't know if the story is true, but that is what that old man was telling me. So he asked me, so that is why for this suffering, it is for this suffering that made this Obama's mom process her documents and carry Obama and go back to America, fly away and go back to America because of the suffering, because the brothers to the dad took everything away from them, so they didn't have anything to survive on. So she had to secretly process her documents and go back with the child to America. So the old man asked me, that is how Obama came to be 18 years in America, and that is how he became a citizen of America. So for this Obama to reach his destiny, and that is to be the president of America, nature knew that first of all, this dad was to be taken away, had to be taken away. This dad had to die. So what if Obama Jr., after the death of his father, said he wanted also to kill himself because the father has died? So for Obama Jr. to reach his destiny of being the president of America, these relatives of the father had to take everything away from the mother, from them, and leave them suffering. And that's what prompted the mom to run back to America with the child. So if these people could have left them their, what do you call them? The wealth that you get from a dead person, the one that was left for them. If these people would have left them these things, they would have lived in Kenya. This person could become 18 years in Kenya, so would be a Kenyan citizen. He would not be the president of America. So these people had to take these things away from them, and that is what was telling. So what if he got annoyed and said, no, nature is very unfair. After taking my dad, again, even the things we were left to do, now again people are taking from us. Nature is very unfair, and kill himself. No. Everything had to happen that way so that the mom could return back with him to America, so that he could grow in America and become an American citizen, and then later American president. So that old man finished me, and that is how my trip to that grave side ended. I didn't go again, and that was my last time I cried over that baby. And that old man told me, what you do, go and remove everything that is for that baby, the clothes and everything, and give them to the neighbors, so that you don't wake up. All those photos you look at for the baby, take them and stuff them somewhere, and take them somewhere and keep them somewhere very far. So take everything belonging to that baby, the clothes and everything, give to your neighbors. The photos, take them somewhere and keep them. Till today, I've never shed a tear when I remember that baby. By that time, I could not even talk about that baby like I'm talking now, without tears. But now I'm talking and smiling. Now tell me, did that old man bring back the baby to life? No, he didn't. But what happened? My problem was solved. So I told you, life taught me the hard way. Life taught me that talking solves problem. It's not a must that somebody should give you material or cash to solve your problems. I learned it the hard way. I used to refuse it before, but I learned it the hard way. I've only given those two instances. Yeah, I used to ask myself that now these people who, if you have marriage problems in marriage, you go to them and they talk to you people, and then they talk, they solve this your problem. How do they themselves, they are in marriages, don't their marriages have problems? That is what I used to have very many facts to support my point of not allowing such discussions or such talks. So I had my strong points. I used to ask myself that this person who is going to go ahead and cancel us as husband and child, talk to us.